Hey traders, Nick here. Wanted to look at Walmart before the earnings reports, and we won't be able to trade it until the open tomorrow after the report itself. So, what can we see from the options market? Again, before I start anything, this is not my guess of where it's going to go. Not my opinion. This is where the money is in the options market based on today's data, which is a static look on the open interest as of yesterday's close. They don't update this data until the day thereafter. So whatever happened today during the day, who's buying calls and puts, that's not in the data, but usually whatever is already in there indicates as to how Wall Street is positioned from the options market. Okay, having said that, it's having a few good days after one crappy one. Closed the gap. This is a daily chart. So it closed the gap here and back to the scene of the crime. Accident scene, whatever you want to call it, back to right there. So it adds to the spice of it. But this drop was not out of the blue. In fact, I had drawn this, we've been tracking it for a while, and I drew this potential on loss of the neckline. Why loss of the neckline? I'm not a technician, but I do know how to make it work for me. So I may draw it incorrectly, like I missed this tail here. But to me, it doesn't matter. What matters is that this is a neckline from where they broke out. So if I wanted to share it and mark it up using crayons here, or markers. All right, so they came here and they broke out. They tested support. You can argue that this was a support test. And then I said, if they keep testing the neckline, the good thing about it, if they survive, then they use it to bounce back up. If not, they overshoot lower. This was a conservative estimate as to the potential of the fall, but the only reason I put it here is because it's like a technician would put it much lower probably. But I usually look left, and that was the prior area of contention. So neckline breakout, and look at that. Wow, I didn't even prepare this. Exactly where it was. So not a coincidence. Why? Because whoever fought over it here, they're going to fight over it here. So, having said that, now we get into the uncertainty of the earnings. Now, this is my opinion on earnings in general. The overnight reaction, the knee-jerk reaction, the short-term price action, all these are the same thing, to the actual earnings headline has very little to do with the actual quality of the report. How well they beat the stock, the estimates, whatever. We don't know what they're going to say, that's number one. But even if they hand me a P&L, I couldn't even guess what Wall Street wants to see and how they would react to words. Perfect example is Caterpillar. I'm going to refer to it until it goes out of style. They beat and raised guidance. The CFO says one sentence, the Wall Street misconstrued it, and they sold the whole industry. XLI fell into the toilet because of what one CFO said, and he didn't mean what he said. What he said was misconstrued. Anyway, long story short, it's gambling overnight to put a lot of money. You can win big, but it's a coin flip. Might as well go to Vegas. Okay, so short term. Long term, you can apply your fundamentals and withstand the short term gyrations. But short term, somebody's playing the action in the options for that 1 week. Okay. All right. So having said that, obviously, this is our pivot. We're at it. And this is the scene of the most recent accident. And here we are back at it. So from here, I can tell you what I see in the options market. All right. So the options market is pricing in. Last time I checked was a little bit over $4 move in either direction. But, we had a big move today because of Macy's. So take it with a grain of salt. It shows that there's room to move. That's the important part in either direction. So it could rally, it could fall, but it already rallied a little bit. Keep that in mind. Okay, so there's some downside pressure to 83 and change. Some, not a lot. And some small support just below that. So let's call it, there's downside pressure to 83, but support below it. There's stronger support at 82 and change, like 82.2-ish. And stronger support even lower, obviously, at 80.2. So these are not I'm not going for round numbers, it's just what I happen to see. There's some decent upside pressure to 89. I'm not calling it up there, but there's reason to go up there from the open interest. And but along the way, there's some resistance around 87 and I don't know, 87.3. So let's call it 87 and a half. There's going to be resistance. And if I look at the chart, that makes sense. So these are what is in there. The resistance above 87, there's some at 88.5 and some at 90 plus. So obviously anything above this level is going to be resistive until onus is on the bulls, until they show that they can actually get above it, and then they could then run to fill this fast whoosh lower. Can't remember what the heck that was. Obviously they said something here that wasn't good. Gap down, and so here's what I'm doing. I'm long this stock. I'm managing my longs, but I'm long via a private trade that has nothing to do with upside potential for here. So I'm generating income out of thin air basically. But I did play on this last dip in Walmart. I went on record with friends and family, and I said I'm going along with calls for now for June and out to September. The June calls wanted to capture this gap fill, so that paid big time, and I cashed it in. And the September calls were to capture the effort to get to here, but I was long here, and that paid big time. So now I'm out of all of these, and I'm long with a lottery ticket for June to capture a move up from current price, but for free. So I played my earnings lotto early, and now I'm holding calls just as a guess that, hey, we might rally, and it's not going to cost me anything. It's house money, so to speak. Okay, so again, the reaction is a gamble, and that's why I booked my profit. I like the September's, but I didn't want to chance any money. Why do I need to chance any money? So I'm still long, basically, at money. So if it doesn't fall far or rises, I should be making more money, and everything is gravy out of that one. So it's a quality company. It competes with Amazon, but I think there's room for both of them. I buy stuff from both. I go to Walmart because it's right here. I buy stuff because if I find it at Walmart, it's cheaper than anywhere else. I rarely go to Amazon because it's cheaper than Walmart. I go to Amazon for convenience. If I want something that I don't want to lug it from Walmart, then and even then that's going away because I recently bought a large item from Walmart and they ship, and it was free shipping. In fact, funny story, I bought 35-inch tires on Walmart. So, 33-inch tires. So massive tires for my son's truck. And they were a bargain, and they delivered them for free. They were like head and shoulder better price than anything else out there. Don't care about the brand. I just needed tires, and they delivered them for free. That was insane, and that was Walmart. It was not Amazon. Amazon's price wasn't even close. So, having said that, there's room for both of these guys to prosper. You can throw in Costco in there too. So, I do like Walmart from the sense that it's the low price leader, and as long as they stick to that, they're going to be winning going forward. All right, so usually I like to zoom out to see how pivotal is this area. If you look left, look at that. It's been pivotal, and I bet you anything if I go to 1 month to show you even longer term. All right, so this is some 1999 on out. You can see that a top testing, broke out support, lost the support, came back to it, onus was on the bull, bumped above it, and proved that they can go. And here we are right here. And now you can see how pivotal that point is. So is this point right here these two pokes right there? And if it is, then there's more upside to go to recapture that big gap up there. So it just makes sense. All this will be affected by what we hear from the macroeconomic conditions too. Like if we get a headline from tariffs, that was a good headline, this should rally too. All right, next signing out. If you have any questions, let me know. sellspreads@gmail.com.